My name is Lex Veltman. I'm with NTT Data. I'm leading the enterprise architecture for financial and bankings within NTT Data. I'd like to tell you a little story today. It's not going to be about technology. It's about growth. It's about compliance or complexity, and what happens if success is going to give you another kind of challenge. Once upon a time, not that far away from here, there was a great realm called the enterprise IT. And within this realm, you could see several things happening in here, right? You had old castles representing the legacy infrastructure. You had the shiny clouds entering the sky. You had wingling roads of data floating everywhere. You have the control towers to meet compliance. That was called the enterprise IT. And the funny thing is, I mean, if you look at this carefully, I need to put some slides to it, otherwise I'll miss the story, and then you're going to miss me, which is unfortunate. So with all of that, with the kingdom, you also see the countless villages over here. They represent the applications, the platform, and the services, built by different people, by different times, for different purposes. The kingdom itself looked very prospered. However, whenever something new was coming in, people started to build something new. A new tower for digital consumption, for digital platform, or a new control tower for compliance. Or what they also did, they created a new road for their payments. A new marketplace, a new roads for marketplace. Oh no, a new, what is it? Yeah. All the things that they built for the different challenges was intended to solve the immediate problems. But over time, things started to change. The kingdom became crowded. Roads started to overlap. Maps didn't match the terrain. Guards from one end of the park of the kingdom could not clearly speak to the others at the other parts. Cloud towers didn't understand quietly the old stone castles. And the people managing the roads, the gates, and the towers, and the marketplace had different scrolls, different rules, different ways of seeing the world. From a distance, the kingdom looked very solid and strong, but inside it became difficult to govern. When the storm came, no one could see what actually causes could see what comes out, what the storm made up for. When the bridge weakened, it sometimes affected villages beyond it, far beyond it. When the cost rose, the central court could see the total, but they couldn't understand what its causes. And the kingdom wished to move faster to serve its clients or citizens better, or defend from dark forces, could find himself slowed by its own organization. Now, every kingdom represented here in this room probably will know some part of this story. And that's the challenge that we have here in front of us today. How do we govern an organization or a kingdom which is too complex for ordinary maps? And how do we bring order without disrupting flexibility? And how do we create a wider view or a single view which is not distributed across the environments of the legacy environments like the private cloud, the public clouds, and the eco-partner systems? At NTT, we believe we have a solution to that, which is called the intelligence, centralized intelligence. So here it is. our centralized intelligence. It's not a story of a king who wants to force his every village to become identical. It is not a story that tearing down the castles and forcing all citizens to move into one tower. It is not of controlling through command alone. It's a story of creating a wise council. A council at the center of the kingdom that can have a full understanding and view over its own land. Understanding what is happening. Guide decisions, and at every part of the kingdom, of the realm, operate with more efficient together. In the modern world, we will call this the AI-driven platform. And in a live map of this kingdom, imagine a living map of this kingdom, the map doesn't simply show what is out there, but understands how it is connected. It will listen continuously what's happening around him, on the city walls, within the different villages, gathering all kind of information. It will map and notice when a road is becoming congested for the trade to slow down, before trade slow down. And the map senses different incidents at different corners of the land and are in fact hidden to the same problem. That's the promise of AI centralization. It's not to collect information like is over here. It's just to give you a better understanding. It's not about faster reporting. It's about giving you some predictive to understand in advance what's happening. It's not just about central control, but about understanding. So why does it matter? For banks, this matters enormously. Not because we are ordinary kingdoms, but because we are there to guide trust. Imagine, as citizens, we expect money to be paid. We expect savings to be secure. We expect mortgages to run smoothly. In their digital experience, we expect everything to work always. Regulators expect compliance and expect resilience. The markets expect growth and stability. We, as customers, expect simplicity. In the world of infrastructure, it's not just staying and still beneath the surface. It's the foundation of trust that we build. At NTT Data, we see four sides of four gifts that this approach will bring to the kingdom. First, you will see the site. As of now, many parts of the realm will have their own set of data. It becomes important that all of this data is being all consolidated into the one platform so that the watchmen see something, the keepers of the road see the other parts, the stewards of the treasure will see the other parts, all centralized in one AI platform. Because at the end of the day, it will give us better decision on what's happening around us. And if something does happen, a small disruption, we make sure that we don't start to go into panic, but we prepare, we make sure that we are being there for preparedness. The second is time. It's about the resources that do all kinds of skills, and we need them very much. And most of the times, all of our people are working on reports that already exist, incidents that needs to be resolved, things that could have been resolved already, not yet done, some repeatable stuff. With this AI-driven platform, we make sure that the resources that are available in your organization get the time back to work on something more strategically, to grow your organization where you need them the most, rather than doing the things they have done already for so many years. The third gift is going to be around resilience, to make sure that you are prepared for the unforeseen. Make sure that if something happens to you, you don't respond in panic, but with preparedness. And the fourth gift is the wisdom of resources. We don't have all the money that we could spend. We all have limits to that. We just want to make sure that we are using the resources to the extent possible and to the extent needed. Making sure that the castle doesn't cost too much, that the roads are being used more effectively. All that information is somewhat at hand, but not centralized available for those leaders that wants to have one single dashboard that has all that information available, readily available for them. That's what we also try to obtain with the fourth gift. But as always, a fairy tale also comes with a warning. No wise counsel that can create a kingdom if the messengers that bring this information are unreliable. If the data that we use in our platform creates value without any consistency or incomplete or is being fragmented. Another thing that you will never want to do as an organization, especially not within banking, is to get everything available from day one. You want to make sure that you give rules, you want to give full autonomy, not from day one. And so the story continues. I mean, oh, that's too much to continue. The story continues. The journey is going to be some intelligence. It's going to be a disciplined transformation. It brings, I mean, the three steps that you're going to do is to start with the foundation, start building some of the events and some of the information that already is available in your realm. Make sure that it becomes available at one single entity. And that is going to be a trustful foundation based on observability. Second thing is make sure that you establish the guardrails, define the rules, make sure that you govern it all from the start. I mean, what I see happening today within many of you as an organization, you have different pilots going on AI, different types of AI, different sources, different proof of values, all being scattered around within your organization, not governed as one single platform. I think establish that guardrail. And then ultimately, before driving any value with AI, just select one of the use cases that you will consider to appeal most value to you as an organization. Again, ultimately, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, it's not intended to force everybody to move or to make all the villages to look the same. You want to make sure that they keep their own characters. You want to strive towards different purposes. You want a road connected to many disconnected. All of that still remains. So you don't need to change your whole of your infrastructure or your application landscape at all. Just make sure that it is fully connected so you get the better understanding and the better intelligence from it. Because it's not about forcing sameness. It's about creating coherence. It's not about reducing the ambition, but about the ambition making it sustainable. It's not about replacing the people with machines, what I hear most of the time, but it's to give them the power to work with better intelligence. So the future, I mean, the future doesn't belong to the kingdoms that has the most towers and the most roads or even the most magic. It belongs to the kingdom that can see itself clearly, govern itself wisely, and adapt with confidence. At NTT Data, we see how we can future this enterprise IT and banking. The future when even the most complex kingdom can be transformed into a trusted realm. And if not heavily ever after, then at least more secure, efficient, and intelligent than before. Within NTT Data, we serve many of our financial institutes. We have over 2,000 ready use cases on AI, which sounds like not that much, but I can tell you it's a huge lot of information that we can bring to you as an organization. And this could vary from very office services, from very small stuff in a network. It spreads across the entire enterprise of your organization. Because as an entity, we are considered the global full-stack service provider, and we are trusted by the European supervisory authorities as an organization to work with on a global scale. So with that, I would like to thank you for this listening to me, to my small fairy tale. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to know some more, then please go and visit us right behind this door. We have a small booth out there. Thank you very much for your attention.